guys, my name is Stacey and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to cover my top 10 houseplants that are easy to care for and they are low maintenance. Maybe you have a busy ass schedule and you don't have time to be caring for plants all the time. You just want a plant that is just going to green up your space and you can just appreciate its beauty. You don't want it to be a struggle. You don't want to join the struggle bus. I get you and I got you. We're going to be covering these plants that I have personally had in my collection for years and they've not died. So that's why I'm going to recommend them today. Although maybe a couple have died along the way, but rest in peace. They are no longer with us today. So let's get into my top 10 easy to care for, low maintenance houseplants. So the first houseplant I'm going to recommend, you might have guessed it, it's a golden pothos. These golden pothoses are so easy to care for. They don't require much care at all and they will get like this big monster that I've got here. They're beautiful, they have variegation. This one's not that variegated, but it doesn't get the best light. To get the best variegation, you need to up the light a little bit. But either way, you can put this in a darker spot and it'll be fine. It might have a bit smaller leaves, but it'll survive, and that's the main thing. I've had this golden pothos for years. This is one of my OG plants where when I was first getting into houseplants, I got this exact golden pothos and it's still alive today. I water it maybe like once every 2 weeks and it's absolutely fine. I've propped it. They are so easy to propagate. You just take one of the vines, you chop it, you put it in water and you've got a new plant. They are honestly such a good beginner house plant and pretty much everyone and their dog has one. If you go abroad to like a warmer climate, you might see them growing up trees. They are beautiful in the wild. They do put this one to shame. When you do see them in the wild, you're like, mine, why doesn't mine look like that? But if you want an easy trailing plant, get yourself a golden pothos. They are amazing. They do require medium, bright, indirect light. Don't put these in direct sunlight or you're probably going to get leaf burn. I mean, they do grow naturally in the sunlight outside, but they are climbing up the trees, up the trunks, so they are a little bit shaded. And yeah, make sure you feed them, give them the right water. So I only water this once every a couple weeks maybe. They don't require too much water. That's what's great about them. They will pretty much survive and they will tell you when they need water. If they start getting all like curled up, you know that you have let it go a little bit too far and you need to give it a big soak. I'm trying to show you how long it gets. Can you see? It trails down my whole fridge and is onto the floor and I just keep chopping it at the bottom and it just keeps growing. So, if you want an easy to care for vining houseplant, golden pothos, it's got to be the winner. The next plant on our list is the Hoya Kanosa. These beautiful plants don't really need much care and attention from you. They're going to be fine without you. They can put up with a high light, high sun environment. They are fine with it. I grow this one in a south facing window and it loves the sun. I wouldn't just put a Hoya straight into a sunny window. I would slowly acclimate it to the sun. That would be the best way, otherwise it might not like it. But yeah, I've always grown my Hoya on a window, like in the sun, and they really do enjoy it. They also don't need repotting very often. I've repotted this one maybe twice in all the years that I've had it. And yeah, they don't really like you to mess with their roots too much, and they don't really have a big root system. Their roots aren't very like crazy, they just have very thin roots, and also they don't need that much water. I water this one rarely. The best trick to figure out whether or not it needs a water is to just take the leaf and try and bend it like that So just take it, squeeze it. If it feels hard, if it feels rigid, it doesn't need water. Don't water it. If it feels floppy, you can easily bend it together. It means that it needs a water. They also get a little bit wrinkly on the leaves when they need a water. When you do water it, make sure you water it thoroughly. Let the water drain through multiple times. Give it a good drink because the watering is so few and far between. Make sure that when you do water it, you give it a good soak. They do get pests. This one has had mealybugs, it's had thrips, and it survived. So, I mean, obviously I did treat it, but you know when some plants, they get a pest and they just die? Like a calathea, if a calathea gets a pest, there's a chance that you can bring it back, but it's hard to get rid of them. For the Hoya, it survived it. So, happy days. But if you haven't had a Hoya Kanosa in your collection before, I would really recommend it. They are so easy, they are so low maintenance. And third, they're beautiful. The next plant, you knew this was going to be on the list. If you know plants, you knew. The ZZ. The ZZ. Again, this plant is just easy. You don't have to do anything to it. You don't have to do anything with it. It just exists. And it will grow quite slowly. But it will grow and it will survive. They can deal with low light. This one's like next to a north window. It's not getting the best light and it's fine. I've not had this one for that long, I will admit. But ZZs are just known to be easy. Easy. Please just don't come for me for that. That was awful. And guess, you know, it's a little bit of a boring plant. It's not the most exciting plant. But if you just need something green for a corner in your house and you're like, I need something in that corner. It doesn't get the best light. What can I put there? You can put this there. There's easy. It doesn't need that much water. Again, it can go without water for a while. It can go without much of anything and it still survives. So yeah, if you need an easy plant, I can't stop now. I can't stop. Easy. It makes sense. How many times have I said easy already? And I've been filming for like 10 minutes. I've said easy like 500 times. Low maintenance, easy to care for. I said it again. If you want a low maintenance plant, get a ZZ in your life. Next up we have the Dracaena. This is a Dracaena lemon lime, I think. They can deal with pretty much anything you throw at it. This one's a little bit crusty and dusty and a little bit, you know, but I neglect it, that's why. I really don't do anything to this plant and it just lives. I've also got a dragon tree down there. Let me just grab it. I've got this one and it just is, it lives down there in the dark corner and it's fine. You know, like, I don't even know if you can see this properly because it's hard to show. But you know, if you've seen a dragon tree, you know. This one is a little bit flopping because it needs a drink. Only thing is, these plants will get big if you give it the right light. So, if you want a big tree-like plant in your home, get yourself a Dracaena and put it in a corner and let it take over. Next plant we have the Scindapsus, also known as a Satin Pothos. She's got a yellow leaf. Let's get rid of that. This is probably one of my favourite pothos. I love the leaves. I love the silvery, big silvery leaves. This sits on top of my fridge next to the golden pothos and it does absolutely fine. I don't have to water it very much. These again will tell you if it needs water. The leaves will curl like this and that's when you know you definitely need to water, like now. I don't normally let mine get like that. I'll water it again maybe once every 2 weeks. It needs a water now. As you can see, the soil is looking kind of dry. But yeah, these are really beautiful trailing plants. You can grow them however you want. You can grow these up poles if you want. I personally like them to trail, but if you do let it trail, the leaves at the bottom will get smaller and tinier and it might put off some big runners that have no leaves on them. You can just chop them off to keep it looking nice and full. You can keep putting the propagations back into the top. There's so many things you can do with this plant, and I neglect it. I just let it sit on my fridge and it just lives. It lives a happy life. If you want it to have these bigger leaves, you have to give it better light. I actually don't know how this has such big leaves because it doesn't get the best light on top of my fridge, but somehow it's fine with it. I've had this for years, and it's never died. It's never had a pest. Nothing. It's just been a happy little plant. I'm now checking it for pests as I'm saying that. I'm like, it never had a pest. Just beautiful. So how many times am I going to call this plant beautiful? But it is. Look at it. It's gorgeous. So yeah, get yourself a Satin Pothos and trail it down your fridge like me. And then you can be like, I grew that. I didn't do much to it. It grew itself. I know we just went off Dracaena, but this is another little Dracaena that I have, which is really cute and small. You can get these smaller, little compact ones. I just wanted to mention this one because it's just so cute, and it's just so pretty. You can get them in so many different ways. My next recommendation is the Monstera deliciosa. These are so easy to care for. They also just don't need a lot from you, and they'll just grow beautifully. This one I've had, it was one of my original plants from when I first started getting into houseplants. A lot of these plants are like some of my originals from when I first started getting into houseplants. And these Monstera, how can you not love that leaf? Like, how can you not love the beauty of the Monstera? You will see this plant everywhere. This is the staple for every home, is a Monstera. I wore it like once a month because it's in such a big pot that it really doesn't need a lot of water. Just be wary that these plants do get huge. It's not called the Monstera for no reason. It's literally a monster, and it's a beautiful, beautiful plant. I would recommend anyone to have a Monstera in their home, and a lot of people do, for good reason, right? Because look how beautiful it is. This one I actually grew from a tiny little baby about that big, and it grew into this. And I didn't really do much. I just watered it, fed it, let it live its life, and it got to this level. That was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. So it took me about 4 or 5 years to get it to this stage, which isn't that long if you think about it. Like, to have a plant get from like this big to that big in like 4 years, it's not really that long, so it's very impressive. And yeah, if you want people to come around to your house and be like, damn, you got a jungle in here, you need one of these. The next plant is a rubber tree. You can get these in all different colours and varieties as well. These are big trees in the wild, so they can get big. Again, they don't need much water. They have these really like succulent kind of leaves where they hold a lot of water, and yeah, they are beautiful. This one has cobwebs on it. This is how like little attention I pay to it. It has cobwebs on it. I'm hoping they are from normal spiders, house spiders, and not spider mites. Rubber tree, really easy to care for. I only water this one maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 3 weeks. Just need to make sure that you wipe the leaves down. This one is really dusty because the leaves are so big and they attract the dust. These plants are really easy to grow, low maintenance, and they're beautiful. They will just take care of themselves, and they will give you not a lot of hassle. I grew this one from a little tiny baby like this big, and it's grown into this. Again, this is one of my OG plants. I've had this for years. Probably around the same time that I got the Monstera, I got this. So that's about the growth rate for these. But again, I've not given it the best light. It's not in the best light. You could grow it way bigger. You can see on this plant that this side gets better light which is next to the window, and this side's next to the wall. Can you just see the leaf comparison? That's what I mean, right? So if you want it to be in a dark corner, it'll survive, it'll be fine. It might not give you the biggest leaves, the biggest growth, but it'll still be fine. The rubber plant. I don't think they actually get rubber from these, by the way. I'm not sure. Someone Google that. I'm about to go on holiday for 2 weeks to Ibiza. And I'm going to have to do a big water before I go. I've been kind of letting them all dry out so that I can just do one big water in one go, which I'm going to do today and tomorrow before I go. I'm not looking forward to it. There is a botanical gardens in Ibiza, so I'm thinking I might take you guys there and vlog that and see what kind of plants they have growing. I'm expecting a lot of succulents though, right? But if that's something that you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments and I can maybe take you guys to the Ibiza Botanical Gardens. So the next plant I would recommend is the Syngonium. The Syngoniums are so easy to care for. They grow into these big, bushy, beautiful plants. I'd recommend you go for the green varieties over the more variegated white ones, just because the green ones are a lot easier, they're less hassle, and they grow much more vigorously, in my opinion. I've found that anyway. And yeah, you'll get a big, beautiful Syngonium, big basket like this, where they're just pretty, right? Look at them. I water this one again every like 2 weeks and it just stays happy. I would recommend with these you do shower them to clean all the leaves so that you get in there and clean them, because they have so many leaves that it's quite hard to keep an eye on a pest situation. So just showering them and making sure that they get a good rainfall simulation keeps them nice and happy. I've got another green one here. This isn't getting the best light, therefore it's kind of grown a bit weird. But they also trail. They trail like this, so you can just chop that and make a new plant if you want, or you can just let them trail. But they have really pretty leaves. I have one here where they have these beautiful variegations. It's weird, like it's got a little dark spot right in the middle there. Don't know if you can see that very well. But yeah, they're really cute. They're pretty and they're just simple. They don't ask much from you. They grow like absolute weeds. And yep, they're easy. 10 points. 10 points if you guessed it. Snake plant. These are notoriously easy. Everybody will recommend a snake plant. You don't really have to water them. You don't really have to do anything to them, and they will grow these big, beautiful, pointy, succulent leaves. And you can get these in all different colours and sizes and shapes. I have this one growing on a south facing windowsill. You can put them into low light. They won't grow quickly for you. They won't grow big. They'll probably grow quite slow if you put them into low light, but if you put them into a high light situation, they will grow big and beautiful. You see these outside in nature growing in full sun, so when someone says they can't grow in full sun, they're lying, because they're out in like hot climates, out in 40-degree heat, 40 degrees Celsius if you're in America, and they're absolutely fine. But yeah, snake plant is an absolute staple. I would recommend snake plants to someone who doesn't want to take care of plants. Now I'm gonna have to put this down because this plant weighs an absolute ton and my arms are getting tired. That is my top 10 easy to care for, low maintenance houseplants for your home, for people who live a busy life and they don't want to be taking care of plants all day. Try some of these plants, see how you go with them. Let me know what your top easy to care for, low maintenance plant is in the comments. I'd love to know what kind of plants you think are the most easiest to care for. These are my top 10. So yeah, let me know what your top easy to care for low maintenance plant is in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like, a comment, subscribe if you want to see more planty videos from me, and I will keep making them for you. And also do let me know if you want to see that Ibiza Botanical Gardens vlog. I can get that filmed when I'm over there. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned a couple of things. Maybe you already have all these plants and you're like, yep, I got them. Yeah, thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!